Like many of you, I've been working in corporate America for over 20 years. I have a background as a CPA, and I've been a lawyer for over 16 years, so I am incredibly risk-averse, doubly risk-averse. So the last place I thought I'd end up standing is here, or in front of Congress, or in front of the president. But when this issue, came into my life, I was mostly concerned about the interns in my office. And I kept thinking to myself, if this can happen to me, this must be happening to them. I felt that I had an obligation to speak up, first internally, and then eventually publicly. And at first I resisted that role because I thought that I was listening to the voice that we hear so often, whether it's in my profession or your profession, filing a lawsuit or embracing the fact of being a victim is somehow beneath us. But I strongly believe that when we walk in with our professional case, it doesn't mean that we should relinquish our humanity or our sense of responsibility for other people. Throughout my career as an attorney, I had done tons of pro bono work representing victims of sexual violence, of domestic abuse, in all different capacities. And it was really difficult for me to finally, turn that on myself and advocate as a survivor myself. It was just difficult to step into those shoes. But I just thought about the idea of privilege. We so often think about privilege as being a race thing or a gender thing, and obviously I don't have either of those race or genders that most people think of when you think of privilege. But I think that we should think of it more broadly. Privilege comes in so many forms in terms of education, financial security, intelligence, skills, and also support systems. There are people standing in this room who I knew that if I jumped off the cliff, they would be 100% there with me every step of the way and would not let me fall no matter what happened to me. They're standing here in front of me, and I'm so grateful for them, and I know that that's something that most people don't have. But I knew I had that, and that's why I could take this leap. And to me, what I see CVTC as being is that support system, that net, that group that so many of us don't have or don't have access to. So CVTC comes in like heroes and fills that gap, and I'm so proud to be honored by this organization because of that. Some people ask me, or their key points that decided to kind of be, along this journey, this transformation that took so long. I just remember Dr. Christine Blasey Ford testifying before the Supreme Court hearings of the nomination, and just looking at her and as a lawyer thinking, man, she is the perfect witness. Everything about her, she's perfect. But then it hurt so badly to know that the perfect witness wasn't being believed, wasn't being listened to. And I thought to myself, oh my God, if she's not being believed, there's no hope for the rest of us. And if it's happening to her and we don't stand up and say something, it's going to keep on happening and keep on happening and keep on happening. This might not be your journey, right? I didn't think it was going to be my journey. I think that sometimes you might not be looking for a cause, but sometimes that cause finds you. And I'm not relinquishing either my lawyer cape or my humanity cape. So I'm going to carry them both on. The last thing I want to do is just dedicate this award. The first group are two people, my baby brothers. First one, Ryan, passed away 7 years ago at the age of 25 from misdiagnosed malaria. But his passing and learning to cope with that is exactly what gave me the strength that I suddenly knew I had, and I know that without his passing, I would not have had the fortitude to make it through this process. And the second part of that is my baby brother Alex, who is Ryan's twin, standing right over there.
I'm talking about a baby anymore.
He's only a foot taller than me, but he's still my baby. And he has not only, learned how to survive the passing of our brother with me, but he has been there, literally standing there with me at every step of the way through this particularly tough journey and the re-traumatization that this process has inflicted on me. So I thank him. Second group of people I want to thank is my friends, who I shouted out earlier. Thank you all so much, to include. Thank you all so much. You stood up for me, and because of that, I knew that I was going to be able to stand up for others. So without you, I couldn't be here, and I know that you have been such better friends to me than I have been able to be to you in the past several years, and I thank you for that. The last category of people I want to dedicate this to CVTC's advocates. As you said, they do that work that most of us feel that we can't take on the risk to do, or that we don't have the capacity to do for one reason or another. So that's who we should really be celebrating here tonight. And I just want to say thank you to CVTC as the organization itself. Receiving this award at this time is so meaningful to me because it just gives me that energy and that willpower to keep on moving and keep on fighting this fight. So I thank you so deeply.